Alright. Last session, you guys didn't die. You met the shark.
Yay.
Somehow didn't piss it off. Maybe it's not exactly happy with you, but it didn't exactly kill you.
Yay.
Got the chests again. You are going to attempt to sink this island.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the exact moment we left off is everybody's inside the submarine except for Texas Red, and they were trying to tell.
No, I got into the
yeah.
submarine at the end.
All right,
We
you got into the
convinced him to.
submarine. In case the submarine begins to slowly submerge itself.
With a single chest.
Do we know if
Mm-hmm.
how to even activate the chest? Like,
No, we have no
is it
idea.
gonna like shoot up chains into the bottom of the island and then sink it down? Or do we need
Maybe.
to put that on top of the island?
We need to put them underneath the island.
Yeah.
Like positive.
Yes.
Yes,
How do you know this?
because that's what we were told to do.
Okay.
We were told
I'll
to
take it.
put it at 3 points around the island.
Yes.
To sink
On
it.
top.
We were told specifically where to put them.
Yes, but would they tell you on top of the island or below the island?
The places marked on the
yeah.
map were off of the island, just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Then.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. And we can only do one chest at a time, right?
Yes, because we don't have a way of storing more than one.
I told you we can just tie them to the outside of the.
Yes, but we still have to, we
So-
have to cover so much distance that it's quicker to get back into the boat.
It is.
We went over this. It's not like a 1 hour and we can knock all 3 out. It's I think a couple days, right, Brian? Like 2 almost or 3.
I believe so.
Well, it should be to scale.
We're not on the map.
Yes.
I don't know. It looks like 34 snafus to me.
There we go.
I turn on grid. Give me a second to turn off the grid.
Help! I've been gridded. Like 3 days to get around the island.
And then it'll probably take.
It's going to be actually half that in the boat because it is a seafaring vehicle.
And I believe the points were 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here.
You were not
Here.
told where to put them, but that's where you figured you should put them.
Well.
No, didn't the our contact dude say like, hey, this is the island, put them here, here, and here?
You were given very bad instructions.
Well, you know, how badly can we mess this up?
I mean, it's sinking an island, and I feel like we probably only have one.
Can we do a nature check to see how we sink an island?
Would it be nature or survival?
I have no idea. It was mostly a joke.
Knowledge engineering?
I mean, I
so
have knowledge mechanics. Like, is that?
None of you have any real experience with this, so it would just be a straight up intelligence check.
17.
I mean, you're pretty sure, based off of what damage was done to your vehicle by one of these, that as long as you kind of somehow evenly space them, it's probably going to succeed. Also, the fact that you weren't really given much instruction.
We got loads of time to make this right.
The most important part is spacing them apart enough that the island doesn't break apart.
Okay, let's bring her down. Replace the chest. I'll be in the electric field room if you need me.
I feel like it would make sense to put 2 long ways.
It makes sense if it's a triangle.
No, because like if you put one over here and one over here, and then one over here, then you have the two long lines.
See, here's the real question, though. Like,
I mean,
this island right here is technically separated from this one, right?
No, that's one island.
Underwater, it's just that there's a valley,
Yeah.
and it's just filled up a little bit with the sticks.
I don't know. I think the triangles. I mean, we could move this one a little bit, but
I kind of like Damien's triangle. Because that way it at least gets the far end.
I think we're overthinking this.
Well, what's the worst that can happen? We die.
Our souls get sold to
Petra, as someone who has spent their life in diffs, you know that there are far worse things than death,
Absolutely.
especially as a necromancer.
gross. Necromancers, kinda icky. Not gonna lie.
Let's go.
Oh boy, we have the Italian accent of the day. I take it.
Oh,
At least for now.
Seems like it's already changing.
You sink into the sticks. You have decided for sure
Yeah.
at least this location for the first chest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And remind me, how are you taking this chest down?
We're
With the,
grabbing it with the claw before we
yeah.
leave, and then carrying it with us.
well, what about the shark tooth then? I forget.
That is on me. I am the keeper of the shark tooth. Fear me.
He's
Yeah,
holding it
just read the
like one of those swords in
keeper
Halo.
of the shark teeth.
A simple in and out milk run. That's what this is. No crazy adventures, no shark monsters, nothing. Just a couple of people. All right, I'm gonna go back to the electric field for when we're inevitably attacked.
Petra, would you mind rolling me 2d8s?
You know, as a matter of fact, I'll be more than happy to do that.
All right. As you descend, it's once again the eerie silence of you don't hear anything but the constant screaming coming from the engine room and the quiet groans as the vehicle descends under the pressure. And as you continue to descend, the deeper you go, you start seeing occasional Southwagons. As it looks almost like they're following you.
Sorry, what's following us?
The fish people.
The sharkfish people.
Okay.
I would like to take the tooth out of the bag of holding and hold it.
All right, you do so.
Do I feel pure goodness radiating from it?
You feel very much the opposite, and as you were holding it in your hands, you definitely feel the spines on your back. I'm going to say the barbs on your back. You feel like somebody's watching you.
Somebody's watching you.
And you will eventually reach the sea floor.
All right. Claw controls. That's the blue one, right?
All right, Volk, you are the one controlling the claw.
Praise be.
In which case, I'm going to need you to make some rolls.
I'm going to encourage Volk with my words, giving him encouragement to do good.
What it?
Unfortunately, Petra is not a bard and cannot give inspiration.
Oh,
And I'm not sure I would take it anyway. Do I have to make an attack to
You.
just play something?
I'm going to need you to roll me a D20. Do you have any skills that you think would be relevant to this situation? I will add proficiency if you think you have a skill that would be relevant.
I have nothing. I have Arcana or Insight.
So Volk is kind of doing this blind as his station does not have any real access outside.
I mean, I can do it with the directions of the people outside. We have what? How many people up front? 2? You can look out the window.
Yes, that's what I meant. Is if somebody else could attempt to give him directions or something, that would
Sure, I will.
give an improvement.
I will give him directions.
All right, Texas Red, roll me a perception or investigation, whichever one you like more.
can I aid him since I'm up front too?
Only if you have got better numbers.
I have like a +7, I think, for perception.
I have a 6.
All right, Petra, then roll perception.
With advantage or?
Just a regular perception.
Okay.
You will roll it with advantage. Anyway.
Your roll will determine if Volk has advantage on this.
It's an 11.
All right, Volk, you've been given kind of standard instructions. So I'm going to say it's just a regular D20.
It's rolling. It's a 10.
All right, you kind of clumsily move the claw as the direction Petra says and kind of just drop it. And then it slowly falls with a thud on the bottom of the seafloor.
Graceful.
Gracefully as a giant chest falling from like a 10-foot drop would be.
All right. 1 chest down. 2 more to go. Let's head up to the golem ship.
Head back up.
These guys aren't gonna fuck with the chest, are they? Like they know that it's there to be set up to make an offering.
They're probably guarding it.
You're not sure.
Would somebody like to ask them?
I mean, we do have the thaumaturgy machine. Texas Red, you have the shark tooth. Maybe it'll give you some more authority.
It seems like a lot of work.
It also seems like this is, part of our deal being roped into this with Dragath, and you're supposed to be the emissary of the devils.
I don't know about that. Volk was the one that did all the talking, if you recall.
He was the emissary of the gods. You're the emissary of the devils.
I'm just the fine. I will communicate with them and tell them to not let any harm come to our box.
Not quite as elegant as
Right, roll me a persuasion check.
You were hoping?
Let's see how good of an actual conversation you'll have with them.
pretty great, apparently.
Yeah, apparently, as Texas Red speaks into the microphone and tells them to leave the box alone, he holds the shark tooth aloft, and they immediately all fixate on you and listen in, and all nod and continue to follow you as you ascend. A short while later, another few hours, you will make it back to your boat. Do you anything you would like to do in between moving chests or ascending and descending?
I would just like to cradle the shark tooth and really try and become one with it. Understand the wonderful feeling that it gives me in my life.
Didn't you already?
Guys want me to stay up by the boat and guard it?
Not particularly. Well, if we come under attack, we will need every person on the boat on the ship in order to defend for ourselves.
You know, we could always ask these Suhagan if they want to protect our boat while we're doing this.
Look, this is very simple stuff. We already got one down. Super easy. Let's just do it 2 more times and we'll be good.
Alright. Within the chance of random encounters, there will not be much difficulty in doing this. Because even if you put the chest down upside down, you can just use the claw to flip it over. So, alright, yeah, do something.
Do we get another rest at this point?
Technically, it would be
There'll
3
be
days.
Pretty much a day and a half to do all of this, because remember that the
Oh, right.
was twice the speed. So basically, just moving about will do a day and a half, and then rest of the half day is ascending and descending. So Damien, as long as you're not doing anything stressful, yes, but to hold off because I need 2 more encounter rules.
That's
Anyone
the
else want to roll the
D8s.
encounter rolls?
I need each one of them is 2d8.
Fuck.
Damien, you've killed us.
Nah.
You have killed us.
Isn't it with disadvantage or whatever it is? So it's just whichever one's not
It's
there.
disadvantage, meaning you don't encounter anything.
Yeah.
Whew.
And luckily for you guys, you did not encounter anything either instance. Funnily enough, as it is, it was actually anything on a 7 or above.
Oh. Wow, look at that.
Oof.
Barely
Petra, you got awfully
skated by
close
by
there.
the skin of your teeth.
We have placed the chests. Let's go back to the boat and I don't know.
Finish up my
See if
long
anything
rest.
magical happens.
As you place the last chest and start to ascend, no, nothing seems to happen.
Well, shoot. We have 3 more chests technically.
Yeah, but we were told that we only need 3.
Technically, you have actually you have 2 more chests. Because the third one was used.
Went off.
Could not.
So I'm
figure a way to
saying
reset it.
we could
Put the other 2 chests
perhaps
down.
No, I was gonna say activate one of the other chests to see if there's a code word.
Do you
Yeah.
think I should try to embed it with magic? Cast
I mean,
a spell on it?
We can try it on the
Real quick, I would say just be real careful about where we try activating the chest, because I really don't feel
Right.
like sinking our ship.
If you wish, an identify or knowledge arcana might be able to discern how to activate these. Alternatively, if you have some other method and would like to pitch it to me, I'd be more than happy to.
I think I might be able to cast identify as a nope,
Ritual.
never mind. Not a cleric. Do we have any scrolls of identify?
How about we ask Torun? Imps know things.
Is Torun in any state to talk?
Why don't we ask Texas Red? Barb Devils know things.
Has had a long rest, but is still shaken.
Not a third.
Barb devils know a thing.
I don't know. But, well, I mean, typically, if it was given to us with no instructions, it must be some kind of
Maybe it's on a timer.
proof mechanism, right?
Who has the highest knowledge arcana? I have a +4.
I only have a +3.
+0.
All right, I can take a arcana look at the chest. Unless Texas Red?
Would it be
No
Arcana,
Bible.
or would
Number one.
is there any like mechanical thing to like when you open it, Brian? It just automatically activates?
I mean, you really fiddled around with these, to be honest.
Alright. Volk,
If
you
he
fiddle
wants
around with it
to-
magically.
Can I take a 20 on this and spend an hour on it? Is that how this works? Is that a rule?
Because of the stuff that I've had, I'm gonna say no, but I will allow you to get advantage on it if you spend enough time.
I will be more than happy to spend enough time.
All right, roll me a knowledge arcana with advantage.
21.
All right, Volk. You start fiddling, and you kind of use your knowledge of magical stuff that you acquired both on your adventure here through the plains, but also the stuff that you confiscated from devil cultists, as to figure out how this chest mechanism works. And you finally find in very thin infernal script open to activate. And
Oh,
you
god damn it.
just have to open the chest to activate the effect.
All right, everybody back in the sub. Yeah, take another trip.
Well, did we leave the last one?
Wait a minute. Here's the idea. All right, wait. We go back in the sub, but let's address the followers. Texas Red, I can do the talking this time if you are willing to part with the shark tooth temporarily.
Never.
Okay, well then will you at least?
I will stand next to you.
All right, I appreciate it.
Shark tooth.
Are you just gonna ask them to go back and open the other two chests?
Correct.
You think?
I'm just gonna ask him to open up every chest.
You begin to submerge again.
All right, and I will, as soon as we can kind of spot a one of the Sekulas, I will get on the.
Sahagin.
Sa- what is a Sekula?
The god.
No.
Sekulas.
Oh, right. Sorry.
I will also accept Sahurgan if you want to pronounce it wrong.
Sahwagan. Okay. Yeah, I'll get on the thaumaturgy thing and say the devil hierarchy has fulfilled its portion of the deal. All that is left is to open the chests and sink the island into your realm. There are 3 chests. They've been placed throughout the island. If there are any questions, please contact us. But the magic is strong and sturdy, and the deal has been fulfilled on our part.
Right, roll me that persuasion check.
Do I get a bonus because I'm next to the shark tooth?
Yes, but I'm not going to tell you what it is.
I feel the power of the shark god coursing through Texas Red and coursing through me as I use my strength and determination that I remember fighting in the arena and standing, the awe and majesty I felt before talking to the shark god. I feel it resonate now, and I speak with the authority of one who demands presence of the shark god. 18.
Nice.
Right. And as you say this, the Sahwagan will immediately turn tail and start swimming towards the chests. A small group of them swimming straight downwards towards the chest that is below you.
Well, we will maneuver out of the way so we are not stuck by this thing.
Let's go.
Every time.
You'll begin to ascend. And for shits and giggles, the last one. Let's see those d8s.
Who hasn't rolled one yet?
Either
Uh,
tech.
We
Oh,
just need-
I rolled
No.
one at the same time as Damien.
Bulk. Go ahead. Nice.
There you are.
Right? You will ascend without running to anything. And as you board the vehicle, you hear the sound of, it's like an immense tremor coming from outside the boat. And those of you who are incredibly curious and
I
or
am.
quick, you immediately you basically rush to the top of the stairs to see that the island is being pulled from all directions, and the tiny part with the smaller portion sticking out of the water cracks, breaks off the larger part, and starts sinking at a quick rate. The other two chests, or the other two chests, seems to be doing their work as the larger portion seems to sink slowly, or slower than the smaller portion, but still, nonetheless, it is sinking.
Yay!
Massive
Congratulations.
splash! The entire island sinks, and your boat is rocked back and forth by the waves created by such an incident. I'm gonna need everybody to make a dexterity save.
Even if we're still in the submarine.
Even if you're still in the submarine.
Wow.
Oof.
Anybody who's still in the submarine, you get a +4. We got an 8. Jesus Christ.
17.
I feel like Texas
Right,
Red's deck save is because he's sitting down on something and it's just like back against the wall and it's just like, huh.
Alright, and I did not realize some of you were still in the submarine. I'm gonna make a dex save for the submarine. Alright.
Yay!
Somehow the submarine still stays locked up next to the larger boat. And as the entire structure rocks back and forth, Damien trips but stays on the board of the big ship, and Volk just completely faceplants. But otherwise, all of you are unharmed. And as we move onto the great map of Stygia, I will do an amazing cutscene. Blink and you'll miss it.
Wow! Was that pre-rendered?
Sunk the island. As
You know?
as you watch the newly formed blank spot in the ocean, some things start floating up on the surface.
Ooh.
Perception check.
Yeah.
All right.
Bodies of the anti-party.
Wow.
Those of you who are capable of using eyeballs,
Oof.
especially people like Damien, who apparently even when he fails a perception check can still see for days. Yeah, parts of structures, frozen bodies, and the struggling forms of devils as they seem to attempt to swim and then quickly forget and begin to sink again.
Plastic devils. I'll kind of be stumbling upstairs. I'll have hit my head pretty hard in the submarine. Little gash has opened above my right eye. Like, God
Brian,
damn it.
do I see any mammoths?
See any what?
See any mammoths?
Yes, you see the body of some mammoths, and quickly something massive shoots out of the water, takes a bite, and like a quarter of everything floating just disappears in an instant.
Can I do a check to see what that might be?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if we can
Absolutely.
find anyone who's succeeded on their intelligence save, but I feel like that would be a bad idea.
Yes, as you watch, the surface of the water has become heavily. It is frothing angrily. You can roll, or you don't need to re-roll another perception check. That thing that came out of the water definitely was shark-like, and the surface of the water quickly becomes a feeding frenzy.
Can we make the assumption that was
Sekala.
yeah.
Maybe one of his aspects.
Yeah.
Good old Bruce.
Are making quick work of whatever was left.
All
I
right.
was hoping to make a mammoth stew for our great shark lord, but unfortunately, I won't be able to use mammoths.
No,
Oh,
there's still plenty of mammoths in the sea, Petra.
Quite literally.
All right, I'll kind of be dusting off my hands, wiping the blood out of my eye. Say, well, I think that went pretty much as well as it could have.
well,
Now,
this is when they do the knock on wood. I suggest you stop talking and let's just go back to the shark god.
I don't think we have to go back to the shark god.
But
I-
feast, grand
Nope.
feast.
That, and Damien points straight to where the island used to be, is the grand feast. I think he's plenty satisfied with what we just gave him.
Even though I didn't technically prep it, Brian, since I had something to do with this feast, does it have some sort of like actual taste to it, or
You feel about as accomplished as a chef who gave a person an apple would feel in terms of their ability as a chef.
oh, I cannot stand for this. I have to cook. I have to do this stuff for the gods and for the
Petra,
devil.
it was a greatly picked apple. Now let's leave it and we can go back later.
But Volk, you promised me.
I promised to give you a shot to cook for the gods. This god, I'm sure we will be meeting multiple along our journey.
We already have.
I'm not
Are
even
we-
certain we can find one now.
Sorry, this is Matt speaking. Were we given instruction to go talk to the god afterward or not?
No.
No.
You were not given instructions that you couldn't talk to the god again.
But we have to go.
In terms of
To
what
the
you have
desert.
to do, you don't.
We gave the
Um,
shark god his deal. I think this is we've kicked a problem upstairs. We've accomplished our role.
Petra, you
Besides-
just served him a very nice island. Good job on that. We have another god's domain, god beast, something that we have to go and do for Texas Red for reasons that he will literally never disclose with us.
Petra,
Well-
look at it like this. When you want to give a feast to the gods, you don't want to give them a morsel. No matter how well you prepare that morsel, if you're using mundane ingredients, they will simply be left unsatisfied. Now,
that is where you are
meat.
wrong. Volk. You need love. That is the main ingredient, and also to worship the great Lord Chef Gordon Ramsay, of course. You know, even the greatest chef can make the crappiest meat taste marvelous. That is how you differentiate between good chefs and awful chefs.
I do not wish to besmirch your cooking skills. I am sure they are plentiful and excellent. However, great mythical ingredients certainly can't hurt your cause. And after all, it might make you will only get one shot to cook for the gods. You might
I
as
will have-
well make it your best shot.
I always give it my best shot, Volk. You should know this by now. I am the greatest chef in the world. You should know this.
I don't know if
Which
that's
world?
necessarily true. There is a god of
Well,
chefs.
Have you ever tasted good food down here in hell? Other than mine, of course.
I have not.
There you
However,
go.
I have.
accomplishing something like good food in hell is a monumental feat. But when your competition is opened up to beings of greater stature than mortals, you cannot simply rely on your own wonderful skills.
You
I
are
think
quite right. That is why I have my chefs.
You
I
your
have
hubris could possibly be your downfall. For gods are picky creatures, and should you deliver a meal to them that is not of the utmost quality, if you do not pick your god well, punishment may soon follow.
I think you forget. I cooked for the chef, the god of food, Chef Gordon Ramsay, and he literally gave me the power to make food taste great in hell. That is how impressed he was by my cooking.
Are you
Gods
sure it
give
was
out boons.
impressed and not because he thought that you desperately needed any semblance of help that you could get?
I'm certain, Damien. If you want, we can go talk to him. But you know what? I realize that hell is a place where time runs slowly, per se. We'll be able to meet Sekala again, and I'm looking forward to cooking him a grand feast. Let us go do what we need to do now and put this behind ourselves. Capiche?
Capiche?
Capiche.
Let's kill us a god beast. Texas Red, any information you
No,
would
we
be
can't
willing to
kill
part
it.
with?
Has to be willingly given to us.
That was the
Fur
tooth.
of the god beast?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh, and
I
the
thought that was
fur?
just the
Ugh.
tooth.
Nope,
But
it's
you
both
had
of
to be-
them.
Well, do you have any idea location? Anything like that?
Nope.
Well, you said it was in the desert, so we can start
Yeah.
there.
Yes, the desert would be the desert. I think is the most ideal place to start based on our current map.
So,
All right.
so how are we going to travel? Are we going to keep doing submarine? Are we going to do the big boat?
We're gonna use the boat.
We'll use the boat to get there. I say we circle around looking for any port settlement that might miraculously be there. If we cannot find any, we'll get as close. I say this inlet here looks like a good place to start, and we will unload our vehicle and adventure on the dunes.
Excellent. Shall we skedaddle?
Every once
Texas
in a while,
Red.
it throws me off when she says the word right.
Is there any particular creature we're looking for?
Pelt from the Egyptian god beast. A pelt from the Egyptian god beast. So, dealer's choice, I would assume.
Brian, can I make some sort of check? Mystical beast, rare ingredient. Maybe
I
I
was
know
gonna ask
something
for a
about this.
religion check to see if I remember any
Do
Egyptian god
a
beast.
religion check or a plain knowledge check.
Alright, I have a +4 to religion. Does anyone have anything higher?
+5 to planar knowledge?
Roll it, Damien.
Bam!
13.
I tried.
You tried.
Not awful.
Not
Well, it's something with
exactly
fur if it's
sure.
got a pelt. I don't know. What has fur in the desert?
Fox.
An ox?
Can sheep
Camels?
survive in a desert?
Um,
Maybe a
maybe goats.
Yeah, maybe.
Can my insight help with this? What animals in the desert have fur?
could be a lion.
Lions
Sure.
don't live in deserts.
Please.
Never heard of a desert lion?
Petra,
Nope.
what animals do you know live in the desert?
You know, well, you got the foxes, you got the jackalopes. Possibly in this realm of hell, maybe mammoths. I mean, it's still Stygia after all.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe. I mean, Egyptians, jackals.
Cats
Maybe
or
a chimera.
dogs.
What was that?
Texas Red.
Oh, a chimera or whatever it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sphinx,
yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
I'd like Damien to read it and weep.
Well, let's go
It's a
and
na-
find out for ourselves.
It's an Ambian lion.
Alright. You
Gotcha.
begin sailing to the west.
Dun, 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 dun. Wait, west.
You know, Brian, I think this also calls for a D8.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Why are we going west?
Excuse me, Golem. Golem Captain.
South. South.
Yes. How can I help?
We're supposed to be on a task for the devils still. We need to be going south to the large desert.
The task for which we have been hired has finished. We are
Because
dropping you off.
Because of course it has. All right. Can you at least help with the unloading of our vehicles?
Also, how much would it cost
Persuasion
for you?
check.
Oh, I can form
mean-
rock to cry.
Very well.
Look, they're golems. All right.
I mean,
Assume.
if we pay you, would you be willing to drive us over here instead of over here?
No.
It was worth a shot, guys. I don't even get the attempt to roll a persuasion check.
You're
Absolutely.
asking for a lot.
All right.
You're asking a robot who is probably told very clear instructions to drop us off at the nearest shore after we're done with our task to change his instructions.
Can we take a submarine?
You are not allowed to take the highly secret prototype.
Figured as
Oh.
much. All right. They'll help us unload our vehicles, but afterwards we'll be on our own.
Hey Brian, while everybody is unloading all the vehicles and stuff like that, can I just go back down into the submarine and just take a look around just to try to figure out how it works, basically? Or like take like that manual of like how to drive the submarine for dummies.
Sure.
Just for some light reading for the road.
Roll me a. All right. As you head down to the lower decks, you see that some of the golems are doing something inside of the submarine. If you want to attempt to sneak past them and snag the manual, you'll have to attempt a stealth check.
Yeah, sure.
I could cast a spell on you.
Did Damien talk to Petra before
No.
doing?
I think it was probably just the last minute. Yeah, I feel like doing this kind of thing. 21.
That is.
And they have disadvantage to see
21.
me.
Second.
Also, is there a reason that
You
you sound weird, Brian?
hiding?
Do you have like a new mic or something?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Say that again.
This is probably immensely better.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Yes, it is.
All right. Damien, you are not hiding. You are attempting to sneak and moving.
Yeah.
You do not get advantage.
The thing says it's just advantage on stealth
You
checks.
get advantage on dexterity stealth checks made to hide.
Oh.
I just opened up the actual rules about the item.
Well, F in the chat, guys.
Yep, Damien, when we can sell your cloak now, cause it's worthless.
I would like to use Mage Hand on Damien's
They
cloak.
still have disadvantage to perceive you,
Mm-hmm.
but these are the rules. So it is a 10.
Okay.
Rest in
Reroll,
peace.
reroll, Damien.
It's too late for the reroll.
Give me a second to roll for them.
I mean, I could reroll if I wanted to, but no.
If you want to reroll, let me know now.
Yeah, you know what? Sure. 2 more blips are gone.
They're probably for the best.
You know,
It's
better than what it was.
better.
I literally just could not get worse, is all that reroll did.
You could have gotten worse. You could have gotten a 1.
A 1 or 2 is the only worst I could have gotten on that.
That is how a dice works.
All right. Somehow you pass by them without them noticing.
Did the reroll help?
Absolutely.
Huh. Alright. Grab the book. What are they doing? Are they just like moving stuff around or trying to fix it or?
They're moving around trying to fix things. Looks like one of them is cleaning up. There appears to be a scuff mark from where Volk face planted.
Hmm.
There's like it looks like they're basically fixing and cleaning up the interior.
Gotcha. Alright. I'll make my way back out and be like, hey guys, I'm back.
I didn't even know you were missing, Damien. Welcome back.
I'm sneaky like that.
Getting some stuff from the vehicle.
Yep.
You hit your head on the top of the hatch. How could we have missed you?
Hey! If Torun had held it open like I had asked him to.
Alright. Anyway, they're almost done unloading our vehicles. Should probably figure out driving order.
All right, so you have 3 vehicles.
Yep.
So how are you using them?
That is a wonderful question. I
Well,
suppose
Sorry, what vehicles do we have?
we have the 2
the 2 small
four-wheel-
ones and our old one.
Oh, I don't know. How many soul coins do we have left?
1,000,000.
1,000,000, huh?
Yep.
I will
We have
drive
9
one of the
soul
vehicles.
coins. They're dropped off here.
Why don't we,
Each soul coin gives us power for a week, right?
for 3 days?
3 days.
I have suggestion.
If you add in 1 vial of demon blood, you will get 6 days out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But only for
Unfortunately,
one
we have
week.
no way of really getting demon blood anymore.
We can find some. It's hell.
I mean, well, theoretically speaking, I should still have my dagger on my person.
On Nyla's person, sure.
yeah, we
yeah.
left Nyla in daycare.
You
Oh
are the
shit, we
daycare.
left Nyla with the golems. Oh well. I'm sure she'll find her way back.
Nyla gets chucked out of the boat as it's leaving.
It's
So-
not like she can get any dumber.
Do
I
we
hate you guys
want
so much.
to start doing that again? Because I can take that as like a weapon. I won't deal as much damage in combat, but at least we'll get demon blood out of it if I use it well.
I feel like you can probably buy demon blood eventually.
Well, yeah, but like this way it's for free.
For right now, I have a suggestion. Obviously, we don't need 3 vehicles. Maybe we go find nearest civilization, sell 1, maybe 2 vehicles, and use the bigger one.
Civilization might be a bit hard to find, but I don't know. Well, it'd be close to 4 days to the nearest ruins that's in the direction. At least on our map. I don't know. As much as it pains me to admit it, we could just abandon them here.
Well, we could just bring them to whatever the next city is and just sell them at the next city. Because we'll probably
Like,
get
we
some
don't.
good soul coins for it.
We have no idea where their next city is.
So, reminder of information. Stygia is mostly unpopulated. The largest civilized location is Tanlin.
What about right here, where I'm pinning on the map? Because it looks like we're gonna have to go this way anyways to probably get to this desert island. That'll probably be the easiest way.
I mean, our
Well,
old vehicle can technically float, so we can do our
all the vehicles
Oh.
can float.
yes.
Oh,
It's just that it is obnoxiously slow in the water.
Hmm.
So it takes twice the time in water.
let's just do some
So-
math here. I do think it's probably worth, because if we go this way, it's on land. 3.6 days. That'll take about 6 days if we just travel by water mostly.
Or 4 days if we do it like this.
I think being able to get the extra soul coin will probably be worth the extra day or two. But it depends on how.
Oh, we have no
time-
idea if there's anybody there.
And we don't actually know like the exact location of this, right? It's just
Yeah,
somewhere
so
in
I've-
this area.
It could take us multiple days to search and find this god beast.
Batur rearranges itself. Yes. So you will be subject to the getting lost rules.
Oh, Texas Red, I have a great idea. You summon devils. Can't they take over these machines? And
Yeah,
store them away?
Something that you might have missed on this map because it's not super apparent is this.
Oh.
In case this changes your mind, that is a frost giant encampment.
I'm going to assume Petra knows about their encounter with frost giants in the past.
I have no idea what frost giants have done to the party.
They,
Okay, because
taught Damien how to use ice powers.
But you would also know frost giants are
But-
typically not friendly.
Yeah, typically they're not friendly, and just because we met frost giants on a completely separate plane. Like, not even a different level, on a separate plane.
But didn't we meet the king of frost giants?
No, that he was the leader of that itty bitty little tribe.
Oh, okay.
Don't you worship the god of frost giants?
No,
Don't you worship anything, Damien?
my family.
Texas, is your
That's
theme
unhealthy.
timed though for like summoning devils?
They only stay for 60 seconds, I think.
No, never mind. That's not worth it then. Do you think we should just abandon them then?
I mean, we could leave them here, and that way, when we get back to Tantlin, we could
Just in case,
hire one
maybe
of the
Go ahead.
cart guy or the boat guys. Yugolos, Mesolos, something loss.
Maybe,
Loss.
maybe just in case, Damien could like get some parts from these vehicles in case we need them. Some of the more important parts.
Would frost giants have any use for vehicles?
Especially not the ones of our size that we're thinking of getting rid of. No.
They could use them as roller skates.
Or maybe we could hire some devils to, I don't know, sell them maybe.
We don't have hardly any money left.
Yeah.
I think we just leave them here.
Yeah. I think we should
And
just
when we
leave
get
'em.
back to Tantlin, we can hire a boat and we can swing by this island again and see if they're still there and load them on if they are. If they're not, then we will die. Or we'll just, it'll be fine.
Well, if we hire a boat from Tantlin, then we can just go along this whole thing again to get back. Because, like, we came in here when we came from the River Styx. This
Yeah.
is where the Morenagons dropped us
Morenal?
off.
Morenoloth.
Morenaloth.
Yeah, so I'm thinking we leave them here and then on our way out, hopefully we
Yeah.
stop by Tantlin. We'll have to stop by Tantlin again.
Why will we need to go back to Tantlin again?
We'll need more soul coins to probably get out of here. And B, we need to hire a Marenoloth to get us out of this plane.
And I would also
Well,
assume
the
that
Mirrorlock
Chantlin
will
is
be
probably
over
the
there.
best place for Texas Red to drop off these two things for whoever he needs to give them to.
Yeah, I'm not sure how the pickup works, so hopefully more instructions to follow.
I'll be honest, devils have not been great with giving us instructions.
that is true.
But is everybody in agreement we leave the vehicles here?
Yeah, that works for me.
We can leave a little sign in Infernal, say property of Texas Red, because his name's got some clout.
Let's grab the most important things. And then, yeah, skedaddle.
All
And I
right.
think we'll take the path that, I don't know what did it, but like this path where we like do this. Maybe about a 4-day trip.
It'd be probably closer to 5 due to the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus we have to figure out where
It just
is.
adds 0.3 days
Okay.
to whatever the actual number is that you got.
All right, then 4.3 days. All right, is everybody ready? Let's get back
Yes.
on the old
All right.
the
Before
old
you
car.
start traveling,
Oh, rats.
who's navigating?
I'll navigate.
Probably somebody who can see in the dark.
And who's driving?
Probably somebody who can see in the dark.
I would assume Texas
Alright.
Red, because Texas Red always wants to drive.
All right. In that case, Texas Red and Petra, roll me d4s.
Texas Red is bestest driver. Well, something's happening.
No,
you
that's
just
the
wanted
navigation.
to not get lost.
Yeah, you just
Alright.
wanted to not roll the same number.
Whoever is not navigating, I need one person to roll me a d8.
Alright. Unless you want to.
Go ahead.
Okay. 4.
Well, that's the same number as me.
All right. You will begin your journey. Once again, reunited with solid ground. You begin to drive your vehicles. How many vehicles and which vehicles are you taking?
We're just bringing our original vehicle. The other two
Oh.
we're leaving on the
Oh.
island.
All right.
Has anyone actually inspected the vehicle since we've got it?
I mean, Damien took a look over at it.
Half
It's a little
did I-
cramped
half of it
because of the
was
chest.
half of it was crushed, and the other half I fixed.
Did you check the underside? No tracking devices?
No, why would
No,
you
we
say that
didn't.
something like that, Petra? It's kind of suspicious of you, Petra.
See, as popular chef as I am, I've been targeted many
Ah, Jesus.
Nah, that ain't the right one. That's a small one.
He's just leaving it there to
Oh,
mark that
gotcha. That's where we left them.
where we
Mhm.
left him. I assume we're still the gray icon.
Mhm.
Would it kill you guys to use the same color to mark your Indiana Jones line?
I'm trading it up per day, so we know how long we've been here.
Oh well, you've been
Or like per trip, I should say. It's like the first yellow was our first trip. Pink is when we went to meet Sekoloth, then yellow to get to here. Now I'm gonna use pink to Indiana Jones us all the way to the whatever place.
All right, well, let's get to traveling. Bum, dun 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 dun.
right. You all for sure get a long rest as you start traveling.
Get all of my hit die back, I think.
Was that Star Fox, Ben?
No, that was Indiana Jones travel music.
Okay.
As it takes, roughly 2 days to get here? In addition to all the time that you spent sailing around. I'm gonna need another encounter roll as you make it all the way across both the Styx, another piece of land, over to the desert island.
And
D8
that's
or
you.
D4?
D8.
Ben, your turn.
E8. Okay. 1.
You can ignore my roll then.
You guys are making all the trips lame and boring as you travel through the vast emptiness. It is dark. You can see very little as lightning streaks across the sky. There is next to no difference between daytime and nighttime, as there is no sun or stars to mark the difference. And you will start moving your vehicle across this small stretch of land, or sorry, stretch of water, as the heat starts coming over you. It's nearly immediate, as if there's a kind of like a boundary, and you no longer feel the intense cold, and your
It's like
parkas,
opening a door into a heated room in the middle of winter.
your parkas immediately cause you to start sweating like crazy.
I will remove mine.
As the temperature jumps from an extremely below 0 to nearly 90 degrees as you start approaching closer and closer to this desert island. By the time that you make land, it is over 100 degrees.
Ugh,
Then we brought all these rations.
I hate the heat.
I think we all do. At least I can get rid of my mammoth stuff.
Put them in
Now,
our boxes.
being fireproof, does heat bother me?
No.
Excellent.
You make it to the shores of this island. And it is immediately apparent that yes, it is in fact nearly entirely sand dunes, which is difficult to navigate in the near pitch blackness of the environment about.
Do we still see lightning bolts and stuff above us?
Lightning bolts do continue to streak above you,
Okay.
but in significantly less amounts.
Do we see any signs of civilization?
Not around you, no. Mind you, you also only have an approximately 120-foot radius of sight, but
Right.
you don't see any lights in the distance.
All of the lights. Okay. Lacking anything else? Ruins at the middle? Or whatever that is? If I were an Egyptian god beast, that's where I would be.
Well, I mean, we have to make sure that we'll have enough rations to make that trip, which I assume that it shouldn't be that bad.
It should only take us a day to get there. We bought a ton of rations before we went down to into this place.
Oh yeah. Um. Yeah. All right. As long as we have a few days of rations, because if we get lost, I don't want to fucking run out of food and water.
If we get lost, we'll just eat
We,
Petra.
we already have a bunch of food. Remember, Damien, we went on that shopping spree?
No, I know, but if we get like lost, it's gonna be real annoying.
I'll just use
We'll
your
be
sense
fine.
of natural sense of direction and all of the remember that sand dune. And Volk will point off to one of the sand dunes that he can't see because it's dark out.
That sand dune, which is currently being blown away as we speak.
Such is the nature of the desert.
Yes.
So mysterious. Any objections to going to the big thing in the center?
Nope.
Opposed to
No.
wandering around? All right. Let us go. Bump. Ba-da-dun-dun.
All
Done.
right. I'm gonna need 2 more D4s from Petra and Texas Red.
Whew.
All right. As you start driving towards the center of the map, suddenly a sandstorm picks up, and as you continue driving, it becomes nearly unbearable. As I'm going to need everybody to roll me a Constitution save.
Wait a minute. We've been here. We've done this one before. Everybody gets a +4. Fortunately, I only got an 11.
Got a 14 thanks to Volk.
All right. Damien and Volk. This sandstorm starts tearing into you as as the winds bring the sands about at blisteringly quick speeds.
I thought the vehicle protected us
heat.
from our environmental effects.
It protects you from certain environmental effects, specifically taking heat damage.
Gotcha.
Damien and Volk, you both take 8 sand damage. And
Is this
Texas Red and
magical sand?
Petra, is this magical sand? Yes, this is magical sand.
Damn.
And Texas Red and Petra, you both take 4.
Dang it.
As the sandstorm is basically tearing your clothes and ripping at your skin.
Always wanted to sandblast my armor. I was just hoping I wouldn't be in it when this happened.
And the heat is not letting up at all, but your vehicle does protect you from burning to death.
Mm.
Yay!
It does not protect you from heat stroke. It just prevents you from, literally catching on fire.
Well, I mean, it's
It's something.
we did spend most of our time in the second hottest layer of hell. So honestly, it should feel like home at this point.
All right, and if you want to continue your journey, you shall.
I'm
I
gonna
think I'm
offer
psyched.
anyone.
Let's go home.
I'm gonna offer anyone who wants one a biscuit. And 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
Any creature who eats the food and spends 1 or more hit dice to regain hit points regains an extra 1d8 hit points. Wait, never mind. Ignore me. If you want the biscuit, go for it. I'll just give it to you.
Ow.
I shall partake in the biscuit.
Actually, no. Yeah, you can. Yeah. You gain 4 temporary hit points.
Alright.
Yay!
As you continue to approach, suddenly, in addition to the sandstorm wailing about, there is a sorry, I'm getting distracted by people messaging my Discord. Go away.
I apologize.
Sorry. As the winds whirl about, joining the sand flying about, swarms of flies fill the interior of the vehicle. They seem somehow unaffected by the sandstorm. And
Great.
I am not saying that they're covering everything, but they are basically buzzing around everywhere.
Can't they just buzz off? But oh, we're gonna die here. But
All right, you have several hours of traveling still as you continue to approach with the sandstorm covering the entire area in a deep everything is obscured ahead of you, even those of you with dark vision, as
Mhm.
the sandstorm is raging about, in addition to these flies. And you will just barely be able to make out the exterior of some sandstone walls.
Ooh.
Oh, walls is a good sign.
Yep. Go up to the walls and go along the edge until we find a door. Yeah.
Yeah, so we could go without the flies, but I suppose it's a bit too dangerous for you to jump up there and take a sight around the city.
Well, I would love to. I would prefer not getting zapped by lightning again.
You seemed to dodge it well last time.
Yeah. But with all the flies in the sand, kind of distracts me from, dodging literal lightning.
Take
Sounds like a
a look
personal
around.
problem.
Yeah,
It's
one
just
which I
when
will
are you
not.
getting wings?
What was that?
When are you getting wings? Isn't that like a thing for devils?
Not
When
in
do
my
you
not in my
could-
deck.
when do you cocoon up and come out a beautiful butterfly?
I think when hell freezes over all the way.
Well, we're at least 1/7 of the way there. So don't sell yourself short.
Alright, you will drive around the outside of this wall. You will find yourself a gate. Outside the gate is the
Is the gate ajar?
remains of.
Yeah,
Second.
Damien's taking some major sand damage here.
All right. So, after that mental breakdown, Damien's unable to speak words for some strange reason. And the outside of this gate, you will see that there are two bodies desiccated from the heat. They seem to be basically skin and bones, as anything else has been taken away from them. The gate itself seems to have rusted away to near nothingness, and it seems that just the slightest push would be able to force it open, even though it is made of metal and seemed to have once long ago been quite sturdy.
Well, we got a big thing on the front of our vehicle that specializes in these delicate operations. Ram the gate.
Thank you. It's more of a tearing and grinding at the front of our vehicle rather than a pushed things over.
It's a very old gate.
Full speed ahead.
Would
I
you like me
don't
to
know.
talk
All
to
right.
fine folks as I
Grace!
point to the dead
All
body?
right. You ram the gate at full speed
Well,
with your
wait, no.
vehicle.
I would
Before
like
we
to
do
jump out of the vehicle before they
But
hit.
before we do
All
that,
right.
I'm going to ask the group if they want me to speak to the dead people, just to get more information before we, knock down the gate, and just kind of see what we're dealing with.
Valk said he needed the gate knocked down. I am complying.
I'm saying, bring it down, bring it down.
Damien jumps off the vehicle.
Drop.
All right.
the hammer.
As you hit the gate, you hear the most awful metal on metal grinding noise you've ever heard, as this gate is both eviscerated by chopping the slicing sides in the front of your vehicle, but also the fact that you attempted to basically stick metal into a blender means that chunks of your own sides at the front of your vehicle get sent flying in directions. You've pretty much damaged your the front of your vehicle with this.
You know, this game was a lot sturdier than I was led to believe.
So
But the
really
gate
well-
is completely gone. It is the largest fragments of it remaining are like a foot long.
Mission accomplished. Like to hang a big banner over the front of our vehicle.
All right. Your vehicle now does 1 less die of damage with the front of with the sides until it is fixed.
Damien could fix it.
I refuse. And I would like to trudge back to the vehicle and be like, "You happy?"
Exceedingly so. We haven't ever done really a dramatic entrance before, and I feel like that was very fitting.
Yeah, and if this is the realm of a god, then you just busted in his front door.
Can I do a perception check just to see if we gathered, attention from making that loud noise?
Absolutely.
Peachy. Mhm.
Only Nyla was here to fix the meat grinder.
Right.
Yeah, Damien couldn't do half as good a job as Nyla.
Not like
A
I have
shame.
better bonuses or anything.
I think I have a higher
All
bonus.
right, Petra. Inside these walls, the sandstorm and the insects are not a problem.
Huh.
Almost as if this is like the eye of the hurricane.
Wait a minute. That's where hurricanes start. I'm thinking we're gonna fight a giant fly.
Hopefully it's giant ants and it's the ants I already know and we could be best friends again.
Also, the interior of this place is it appears to be a village, or actually a city, made out of uh, mud bricks and sandstone. But you don't see anybody walking around here.
Yeah, I was
You
gonna
don't
feel
see
really
any
bad.
lights of torches.
Can we go into the houses?
You
Is
absolutely
Petra
can.
gonna have the exact same thing that Nyla had, that like she just straight up doesn't knock?
I'll knock.
I don't know.
I
You
feel
just
like
said
we
let's
already
just
did enough
go into
knocking.
the houses.
All right, you knock on the door, and there is no response.
I enter.
All right, you enter the building. The interior of this place, it looks almost like at some point was well kept. If it were not for the sand that seems to have settled throughout the entirety of every surface, there is a sizable layer of sand on every flat surface in here.
Okay.
There seems to be,
Go ahead.
if you as you the play with the sand on like the tables, you find that there's a table with or on the central table there seems to be like it seems to be set as if for a meal. The food long ago since rotten away, so there is nothing left. But you with your chef senses could tell that there used to be food on this plate. You also don't see any bodies in here.
How often can you go and talk to dead bodies, Petra?
What was that?
How often can you go and talk to dead bodies?
As long as I have a spell slot.
So how many do you have?
Yeah.
I believe I have 3.
Okay. Well,
Do you want to go talk to the dead bodies at the front gate and see what happened?
I can most certainly do that. Does purify food and water, does that work on this kind of stuff, Brian?
Considering that there's no food or water left.
There seems to be no food or
Oh,
water.
no food. Okay.
The residue on the plates would be more akin to like, you know,
Scratch, maybe.
residue than it would be to actually be food.
Volk, why don't you come with me?
And it's more of a discoloration than an actual residue to begin with.
much as I. Yes, all right. I shall accompany you, but I'm not getting too close to the bodies. Necromancy gives me the heebie-jeebies.
All I want you to do is, are they when? Sorry, Brian. Are they in the storm right now? Those dead bodies, or
Yes.
okay. From just my necromancy skill, if we were to drag the mummified bodies into the city, would they still be intact, or would they not be?
They look fragile. You would require concerted effort to bring them in undamaged.
All
Yeah.
right, I'll just suffer.
I mean, it's possible to do so, but it won't be easy.
I'll just
Um,
suffer.
Alternatively, if you have mending, it does not matter how much you damage them.
I do not have mending,
I don't
unfortunately.
think any of us have cantrips.
I have cantrips.
Oh yeah, I suppose.
All right, I shall cast Speak with Dead on the two bodies. And I'll just post this in the chat so people know what it does.
All right. You will cast Speak with Dead on one of the bodies. And the sands around it will shift and swirl and fill inside between the bones and the skin to kind of give it a semblance of body weight. It will shakily stand up. And it will speak to you. You know that you have not brought it back fully. This is just the illusion of life to it.
What is it?
And it will put it will look around to its sides, realize it does not have a weapon on it, and it will say, "Intruder, what are you doing in the land of Set?"
Volk.
You're the one who's got to ask it questions.
Land of Set.
We
Oh,
are
I do.
we are just weary travelers, and just want more information about this land. Could you tell us where we are?
You are in the land of Set.
Oh, that's one of your 5 questions.
Ask them if there are any god beasts nearby.
Are you aware of any god beasts?
What do you mean by god beasts?
Spiritual animals that might be associated with the god Set. I mean Schmet. So I don't want to say the god's name.
I'll repeat the question without set.
Spiritual animals that represent the god.
You mean the beasts of Set?
That'd be them.
He seems to have said that as if it was an answer.
Oh. I believe I have
You're-
3 questions, right?
You have 5.
You already
Yep, I
used
already
2.
answered.
Oh,
I already
You
used
have
2.
already used 3.
I've used 3. Okay.
Wait, what was the third one? Because he asked a question back, but we didn't ask a question in response to that. It was, do you know where we are,
Well,
and do you know about
Where
the god
are
beasts?
we? Do you know about the god beasts? And it asked, "What do you mean by god beasts?"
Oh, creature.
That is
Yeah.
an answer.
Oh. Okay. So I'm gonna ask Volk if it's a good idea to ask about who this god is.
I was gonna say, where can we find the god beasts of Set? Would be a good question to ask.
Where can we find the god beasts of your god?
They are beasts sacred to this realm. They will only be found here in his realm.
Could
It seems
ask-
almost as if it's believing that they can be found anywhere around here.
Okay.
Okay. What are
tell
their
us-
names?
I was gonna say I think it's important for us to find out more about this god.
I mean, I do remember hearing his name before on a religion check. Believe he Brian.
I know who
correct me-
Set is from mythology. But obviously
Yeah,
my
but-
character doesn't.
But I remember I passed a religion check that gave me a little bit of information about him.
Brian, can he roll a religion check just to see what he remembers about Set?
Yes. Ben, if you want, you can roll me a religion check.
Okay. 14.
Not bad.
Possibly. You're not sure, to be honest, as it's not anywhere near your pantheon. But some guy of the Egyptian pantheon might have been like a villain. You know nobody who worshipped them. And that's strange. In the fact that like you knew like a handful of people in your entire life who had ever like worshipped somebody of the Egyptian pantheon. But it is kind of strange that nobody worshipped this guy. Villain worship is like a culty thing, and typically they'd be, somebody you would stop, basically.
I mean, yeah. You can't swing a stick without hitting a culto Shmahamet. I can't say the actual name or else it'll probably summon him here. And that would be very bad.
You mean Baphomet or Bahamut?
Both.
Yes.
Because that was kind of both.
Honestly, you can't swing a stick in a city without hitting a cult of evil worship. But that's neither here nor there.
But unfortunately, with your 14 and the fact that you aren't really of the Pantheon means that you don't get too much information.
God, if only we had a cleric of an Egyptian god here. It would be so helpful.
I know. If only my delaying methods worked, and we had the guy who was related to some kind of Egyptian god was here to assist in this location.
When that guy comes back, I'm feeding him
Enter-
to a leaf grinder.
Enters Philippe. No. We have one question left. What shall I ask?
I feel like
Should I
we
find
could
out-
either ask about the god, more information about the god, or we could ask for more information about the different beasts of Schmet.
I think if we ask him about the god itself, that answer just might come in general.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get any more information about the beasts because they are brief, cryptic, or repetitive.
Tell us everything you know about this god.
We word that as a question. For the sake of the spell.
Tell us more about Set.
Still not a question, that's a demand.
Oh, sorry.
Can you?
Can you
Don't
tell
say
us more
can
about?
because that's a yes or no answer.
Well, I mean,
That's
it
fair
is a
point.
question.
What do
sorry,
you
I'm-
know about your god? How about that? What all
What do you know about your? What do you know about your god?
Man, I could be a real basic at many things and then just end it there. That is a god of deserts and storms and violence. Banished, or abandoned here long ago. I am one of the many guardians of this place. What, do you want me to go like down the entire mythology of this guy? I mean, I can absolutely do that. How much of an information dump do you want me to give you?
Just the relevant information, I think. But I think you already gave us enough.
Set is most known for two actions of his life. The moment of his ascension to the throne and his current occupation of protecting the sun.
SUN or SON?
That is a question that cannot be answered.
I'm asking Brian.
Oh, Well, maybe when I go further into the explanation, you'll understand. Long ago, Set had in his among his families was his brother Set, or was his brother Osiris,
Osiris.
and they fought over who was to rule the throne. And upon Osiris winning, Set schemed to take the throne, and through trickery managed to banish Osiris to the underworld. But upon achieving the throne, his brother's son went and took the throne back from Set. Whereupon Set has remained not in the power of the Pantheon since. But his duty ever since has been to guard his father's journey across the sky from one of the aspects of the world serpent, the chaos serpent, to guard the sun that its passing may not be halted.
Thank you, my spirit. You may rest now.
And it will crumble to the ground, and as it does so, the remaining bits of skin that were covering the bones breaks and tears and turns into dust, and now it is just a pile of bone.
Well, Bulk, you know what they say. Time for round 2. No, I'm not going to cast Speak with Dead with the other guy. I think we gathered some good information.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know this is the city of Schmet, and we know that he is a banished god.
Didn't he say something like, how is it? Did it sound like he's here? This god is in our city?
No.
He had said that he was guarding the sun's journey across like the sky, so it's probably with the sun.
Well, but it also said he was a banished god, so maybe that was his role during his life before he was banished.
I thought guarding the sun was his punishment.
That
Like
could be it as
he
well.
was once like the ruler, and now he was punished, like banished to guard the sun for the rest of his days.
Brian, assuming you told us the entire mythology of Set, can we answer these questions?
I mean, do you want to have been told the entire mythology of Set? Because I can go into more detail.
You don't need to go over it in that great of detail. I think we can we'll relay that to the other members of the party. Tell them about this god. Seems to be relevant, causing a storm. Now, why everyone seems to be vanished from this city is a different question. So maybe we can find more bodies on the interior that I can ask.
It is a reasonable suggestion.
Because it's just
I
kind of...
only,
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't know. Once again, we still have to figure out how, a problem for later, but we will have to cross it, how we're going to get this beast to give us some of its fur willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Considering it is more than likely an evil creature. And we're running out of souls to
So
bother.
not just the fur, we need the pelt.
What's the difference between a fur and a pelt?
I'm
We're gonna
assuming
have
The
to
pelt
shave
pelt
it?
has the skin,
No.
right?
I would defer to the DM for that. I feel we're gonna need more than just like a cutting of fur is really what I'm getting at.
Oh my god, it was sketchy to get the shark tooth. We got to have this god beast surrender some of its skin to us.
So typically a pelt would be like the entire exterior of the animal.
Yeah.
How in the hells are we supposed to get that willingly?
What if we get it from a snake, and the
Well,
pelt is its
If
skin that it shed?
if I cast suggestion and ask it to give us its pelt,
sorry, real
is
quick.
that willingly
If
that they
no,
gave it
no,
to
no.
us?
Here,
Not
what
sure.
if somebody already killed a god beast and has the pelt of a god beast, and maybe it's like there's like a guardian of the realm right now that has the pelt of the god beast.
That is a much
We could
better
ask
option.
them for the pelt rather than trying to ask a random beast, "Hey, I need
Give us
your
your
skin."
skin.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we should find a hunter. However, we haven't seen any. We don't have any idea about any signs of civilization or life here. Mostly just life. Plenty of signs of civilization. I'd say, yeah, let's continue to explore the city. At least we're not being attacked by flies or sand.
Can we look more for kind of more prominent structures that have more unique designs, possibly like a church?
There should be the Grand Temple if this was a city of set.
Yeah, because like the first thing that guard
Right.
told us was
So
land.
remember that you guys are in pitch blackness. So it is based entirely off of devil vision and dark vision is everything that you can see.
Mhm.
It could also be that you just haven't really seen much because you only have a really small sight range.
Does the vehicle have lights that could help us?
I don't believe so.
Oh, I guess if it did, it got totally destroyed. Probably.
I can use my bullseye lantern.
I can
I don't
create.
think it's any. I don't think it's any better.
I don't
I
think the bullseye lantern is much better for you, but it. No, because they'd be in the light. Yeah, no, bullseye lantern just does not improve it much.
Well, all right. I'll
Brian,
continue to follow your guys' lead.
If I summon a fire elemental, how much light does that give us?
I feel like
Same
that's
problem with the
overkill
torch.
for a very small problem.
Same problem
have
with
torches.
the bullseye lantern, but you would get a wider radius of light.
I'll be back.
I have torches that I can just give everybody to walk around with.
Yeah, why don't you just give us some torches?
We can
I
spread
have very
out.
limited spells, so. And Brian, just to make sure I'm correct, it's still 90 degrees in here, right? Even though this is like the eye of the hurricane.
No, it is like 100 degrees in here,
Okay.
as it has been pretty much since you basically left the shores.
I'll just pass out 3 torches.
All right, so I guess we'll just look slowly for those buildings.
And we should spread out too, if we can. Just to give us some extra range of vision.
We are in a
Alright.
foreign land. Maybe that's not the best idea.
From what we've seen so far, it's totally deserted.
Yes, but it's still hot, and some people might not be more keen to the hotness than I am. Last thing we want is a party member to collapse from exhaustion.
I'm fine. This is a very nice temperature.
Was it actually hotter in Hell? The first layer, I'm blanking on the name. Avernus?
Avernus is not about heat. Avernus is about warfare.
Fair.
It was hot, but it was just like a constant, like 70 to 80.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's practically, temperate.
Mineros. Or not Mineros, sorry.
Mineros was a
Plegathos.
swamp, wasn't it?
Plegathos, which was the layer you briefly went through in order to get to Stygia, is basically everything's on fire. You did not really. I mean, you might have vacationed once or twice to Phlegathos, but unless you have business in any of the layers, you typically don't go there. So this is not the hottest spot in the Hells, but this is probably the hottest spot you guys have been to in a while. It's difficult to say exactly how hot Mineros is because it's just like the hell swamp.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just whatever temperature is uncomfortable in that location.
And extremely humid all the time.
And constantly extremely humid, yes.
Volk, what do you think? Should we split up?
I mean, might as well stay together. We're not certain the city
I
is
wasn't
safe.
saying split up, I was saying spread out.
Oh, it sounded like you wanted us to split up.
No, I was saying like spread out, so we're like 40 feet away from each other, or something
I mean,
like
that's
that.
fair.
Sure, that's fine with me.
That way we
Alright,
can
if
just
you
extend our
are
range.
spreading out and not splitting up.
Correct.
Damien, you have an obnoxiously high perception.
Mhm.
Please roll with advantage, and we'll say that's just the party's perception.
Wow. 26.
Alright. As you proceed to walk through the sand-covered streets, there is no signs of life at all, except as you continue moving through, you see a light off in the distance and a little bit upwards, probably from some sort of building. Also, as you move through the streets, you see the shadows of some kind of small creature moving around, but always just out of view.
Just telepathically to the party. I'll just, whenever I see the shadow of the creature, I'm just like, there's something around. I can never fully see it, but it's following us, whatever it
You
is.
try. Have you considered hiding?
Would you like me to hide?
Damien, I can make you invisible.
See what this little creature is. Do you have any idea about its size?
Small-ish.
Halfling or rat?
Bigger than a halfling.
Closer to
Is-
halfling size than rat.
Yeah.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Bigger than a bread box, about halfling sized, maybe.
Significantly larger than a bread box.
Okay.
Maybe a dog.
Why don't
A medium dog.
I'm
I'm
going
not gonna
to
say this
tell
out loud.
Damien, I'm going to make you invisible and catch it, and we'll go from there.
I mean, whatever it
Is that
is, it's sneaky, but I'll try.
All right.
Damien, you have the eyes of God.
I'm going to go over to Damien. I'm going to touch him, and he's going to become invisible.
I think the rest.
Oops.
Everybody else come here. I have something to discuss. I'll make a show of gathering everybody around.
Alright, roll me a charisma check for deception. Or charisma deception or charisma performance.
I have neither of those skills, so it will be a 12.
Alright.
What do we
Damien,
roll?
Stealth with
roll
advantage.
me a stealth with advantage.
Ugh, 21?
Alright, because you are invisible.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also hiding.
Yes, I am.
Feels bad that we've just learned that we've been using Cloak of Elvenkind wrong for a while now.
Well, I was like, what
I
the
mean,
heck? How is this thing so broken as an uncommon? And I'm like, oh, it's because you're typically not supposed to use it unless you're like motionless in terms of the getting advantage on everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sorry, give me a second to get its stat block open.
Yeah, I'll go over to the side somewhere and hide, and then keep an eye out for wherever the fuck this thing is supposed to be from.
All right. Yeah. So Damien, you kind of move yourself away from the group a little bit in order to not be directly on top of the group,
Mm-hmm.
hoping to catch one of these things in action.
One. Oh.
And give me a second. All right. You will see one of them as it, and it just seems to be blackish in color, blending in with the darkness of the area as it seems to watch the group from a distance, and it's just on the edge of your sight.
Alright, if I'm able to see it, then I'll try to sneak up beside it in order to
Grab it, essentially.
grab it.
All right. As you walk up to it stealthily, it very much looks like a dog, except with almost a solid tail poking up at the sky and really wide ears.
Keep it away from Melissa. Keep it away.
And Melissa, I'm gonna need you to roll me a strength check to see if you can grab this.
Oh, just
Run,
straight up
dog.
strength.
Sorry,
Not
athletics. I meant
Yeah.
athletics.
Oops. Either way, it's 17. It's the first one.
All right. 17. All right. You grab it, and the thing starts struggling, and then it disappears in a puff of smoke.
Damn it. Thank God.
Huh.
Did you get a good look at it?
Well, yeah. And you guys see Damien now, because I think that counts as an attack, doesn't it? Like a grapple.
Technically, you're still invisible, I think.
I'll say technically you're still invisible.
Did we hear a yelp?
Okay.
You definitely do.
Was that Damien or the creature that's stalking us?
I've been with Damien. I've been with Damien for a while. Yeah, he don't yelp like that.
I'll kind of just like trudge back to the party, like, huh. Well, whatever these things are, they're magic. Grabbed it and it struggled for a second and then just poofed away in a cloud of smoke.
Speaking of which, can I make a perception check to see if it's looking at us again?
Sure.
Pew. Nope.
Let's see
Well,
here.
whatever it is has clearly run away.
Mm-hmm.
What did it look like?
It looked like a dog, but with a thick tail that stood straight up and long pointy ears.
Long pointy ears.
Mm-hmm.
Did
In
it
what
look like a
direction?
jackal? It's a jackal.
Does Damien even know what a jackal is?
I mean, how familiar are you with the Egyptian gods? You can't swing a stick in an Egyptian cult without
You know
hitting a
what?
jackal.
Let's see how familiar he is with Egyptian stuff. He's not. I have no idea what a
He
jackal
thinks he is.
so.
You also
Criminal nature.
it's also like a +5 to difficulty because none of you are part of the pantheon. So
God, if only we had a.
if only there was a person here who was I was definitely telling Melissa to delay for.
Look, we accomplished things very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
We should have.
I think it's safe to assume that, based off of that soldier's story, this might be a minion of the god who resides here.
Well, I was
Possibly.
gonna say, would these be considered the god beasts?
I can't imagine.
I mean, it's
a city.
It's
There
a
have
beast
been
that's magical that in a city that's completely in ruins, but has been dedicated to a god.
Pel?
See, my original plan.
I would think it could be a
was-
god beast. Just
Damien
go up
sees a
next time we
stray
see one
dog.
and talk to it and be like, "Yo, what are you?" Because if they're magic, who knows? They might talk.
So Brian, question for you. In my notes, I have pelt from Egyptian god beast. Should that be apostrophe s like God's beast or like a god beast like I don't know animal god?
From a god's beast.
Okay, so not from a godly beast, from a god's beast.
Not from like, hey, get the pelt of Sekala.
Okay. Just making sure before we go down the wrong path and end up looking foolish.
Um,
Well, you've already failed, but I mean,
I mean,
guess
Brian, it'd be pretty bad if we did like this whole like story arc to get like a god to give us their skin, and then it's like that's not what we wanted. Impressive, but not what we wanted.
Well, it
you-
would kind of be fitting for our party.
Oh
You guys
yeah.
went through all this work and you still fucked it up.
Damien, let's go to the light in the distance over there.
Yeah.
Wait, there's light?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was light in the distance.
I know the torch might be screwing with your dark vision, but there is a light in that direction.
I was always warned not to go towards the light when I was dying.
I mean, you're already
I'm
dead,
going to
so.
find light.
Fair point. To the light it is.
Are we gonna be? Let's just go up to it.
Mhm.
20 minutes. So just go up to it.
Damien, you will still catch glimpses of their shadows as they quickly retreat. They seem to not be following you so much as be in front of you, running from the edges of your light.
Okay.
As you continue moving down the streets.
Who
And,
doesn't have it? I kind of figured Texas Red wouldn't have a light because he has dark vision, but I said I handed out 3 torches. Do you want one or should I have it, Dakota?
I
You
already
can
have.
it.
Okay.
I have stuff. I'm using the bullseye lantern right now.
Oh, I thought you were using the torch.
I think the bullseye lantern sees farther.
The bullseye lantern does light up things further, but it's also more direct.
Yeah, and I figure if we have two
Imagine
people
more
with
of like a
torches-
medieval flashlight.
Mhm.
I also have the drift globe, which
The drift globe would just bathe this entire area in the equivalent of sunlight.
correct. I'm saving that for emergencies.
Mhm.
Just remember as well, this is a dark place. Anything that can see your lights.
Mhm. But we have a human with us who can't see shit, so.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yep.
just know that you are pretty much known.
We're not hiding.
Yeah.
Not
I
that
know.
I ever stood much of a
I'm
chance
just
with stealth.
reminding you guys so that you don't be like, hey, I was stealthing, but I have a torch.
Mhm.
All right. As you continue moving down the streets,
Do we want
towards
someone to stealth? Just like off to the side?
I think they have many eyes on us. I don't think it's worth it at this point. They already know we're here. Let's just continue forward, as they say.
Alright.
all right, as you continue to move through the streets, you still don't see any signs of life from anything larger than these creatures. But eventually you'll get close enough that Volk will be able to see the lights off in the distance. As you do approach, you realize that it is several lights, and it is in fact a far off. It appears to be almost like a temple fused with a palace.
Now, I'm no expert on religious matters, but that looks like a grand temple if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, looks like it to me. Let's go.
All right, you will continue to approach. Uh, do you want to do anything until you reach the steps of the palace temple?
Are we still being followed by the dogs?
Absolutely.
Can I take a look at maybe some structures nearby that look like those creatures?
You're looking for statues? Sure. Roll me a perception check.
1 minute.
So, Brian, being in the center of the storm, is it still lightning and stuff like that?
There is no lightning.
Oh, that's good.
Do you guys want me to try to get somewhat of an aerial view on this?
Well, you can only see
No.
120 feet.
Yeah, so I can go 100 feet up and
She
fly.
would. Damien would be able to see the structure from further than 120 feet. Just wouldn't be able to. Sorry, would be see the light from the structure from over 120 feet, but wouldn't actually see any detail until 120 feet.
I'm saying like fly up so I can get a view of our surroundings, not the temple. To see if there's more of these dog things in front of us. And to see like kind of how they're acting. If they're just moving because they were already there, they see us coming and they just move out of our way. Or if like they're walking around, see us and then move out of the way.
Sure, we can do a quick aerial recon.
And see if there's anything other than these random dog things that are walking around this place. I would like to do a very quick aerial recon, Brian.
All right, roll me a perception.
16.
All right, as
God,
you
I am rolling
fly
shit
up,
on perceptions today.
it doesn't even matter. But as you fly up, you can see over the buildings to the left and the right of the party,
Mhm.
and you do catch a glimpse of on the right side. There seems to be one that seems to be following the party, but hidden behind the buildings.
Does it have any different markings on it, or is it just like bigger or
The-
smaller, or?
They all seem to be pitch black, except for their eyes, which are a kind of like how cats have like a reflective eyes. Other than that, it does not seem to be any larger than like a I would say it's more akin to like a large dog in terms of size.
Okay.
But so it's like a little smaller than like a golden retriever.
Okay. I'll I'll fly back down to the group and just be like, most of them just seem to be getting out of our way. There is one on the other side of this building right over here to our right that's looks like it's actually following us. But
With that 27, Brian, do I see statues or anything kind of pertaining to these creatures that Damien's alluding to?
Yes. So as you were walking down the streets, you'll see sometimes pillars, holding buildings up, or just kind of decorative obelisks. And you can't read or understand the symbols on the exterior of some of these structures, but you do see a common motif, which is a humanoid with heads similar to the description of those beasts.
Totally jackals.
Yep. Well, let's go to this temple and see what happens. Maybe there is time for me to cook for God out right here. Who knows?
Mhm. Uh, what time of day ish would it be, Brian? Like, I know that there's no sun or anything, but like, how long have we been up? Like,
You
would this be a
have
good spot for like a long rest, or not a long rest, a short rest?
so. Let's do it from Damien's point of view because you're the one asking.
Mhm.
You were knocked out for 2 days,
Mhm.
and then on top of that, you have been underwater with no sense of any time.
Mhm.
And then on top of that, you traveled through complete pitch blackness for like 5 days.
Mhm.
Day and night means nothing here, considering the only ones who determine what is day and what is night are your party.
Yeah, but
You
like,
have
what I'm
you
asking
have
is, how long have
0.
we been up for the day?
You can take an 8-hour break at any point because at this point your biological clocks are completely out the window.
Mhm.
Because you have no sense of what is a day and what is a night.
Yeah.
You only get that sense when there's a larger group of beings about you who have an actual schedule.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are you tired? Do you need a rest?
No, like, I'm good right now, but I don't know what we're getting into, and just like, want to be 100% if we do get into something.
I think it's too late. I think we're already under many radars. And if they wanted to, they would have handled us by now. But they haven't. They're just watching us.
The
And they are
hell is a
making no move to
radar?
stop us. So I think we go straight towards the goal, which is that light over there.
Isn't the light at the temple?
Yes,
Alright.
Yes.
she's pointing at
Alright.
the temple.
Okay. Wasn't sure if the light was further off. Yeah, let's check out this temple. Maybe
You
we
can be
can.
as close to the temple as you want at this point. You are the
Mhm.
determiners of where you are moving.
We
Let's
own
be
our
at
own
the
fate.
temple.
Yeah, we're on the temple's front doorsteps. Can't you see it, Volk? No.
You
um,
zoom in really
Well, I
quick.
said if you wanted to do anything until you reach that point, and you gave me things. So
mhm.
you can
Um,
absolutely teleport to the temple's front door steps.
all right.
Also known as walking.
All right.
Yeah, I think
You
we should
will
probably just walk to the temple.
you will find yourselves upon a wide path, the widest. It nearly. Those of you with dark vision, or sorry, Petra specifically, this path is basically the width of your dark vision. So it's about 120, or it's about 120 feet wide, but because you guys are able to walk in the middle of it,
60 feet
Damien
to each
and
side.
Texas Red can see beyond they can see the buildings on either side. Volk, your bullseye lantern basically barely illuminates the fact that there are buildings on either side of you.
Noted.
As you approach, you see that the road ends abruptly, and there is a staircase going upwards towards the light. It is carved out of stone, probably some kind of sandstone or some other stone material as opposed to be made out of the mud bricks you see somewhere around you. There's statues, but in the darkness, able to make out fine details for Volk, and the lights kind of make it difficult for those of you with dark vision to accurately get a read on what the statues are. But you can assume that they are more statues of whatever being was depicted on the statues earlier.
Mhm.
Ahead of you, up on the very top of the stairs before it widens out towards the actual interior of the temple, is a row of those black creatures. They seem to be sitting there watching you. You are barely illuminated in the torchlight from at the base of the temple.
Oh, that's creepy.
Are they
in
alive?
in terms of numbers, there looks to be about 20 of them.
Walk up and talk to them, see if they speak.
Do you speak Egyptian?
I was asking if anybody else wanted to. If
I
not,
can give it a
I will gladly walk up and start talking to the dogs. But do you really want me, Melissa, having my character walk up and talk to dogs?
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
for the dog's sake, it should be anybody else.
There you
I
go.
can take a shot at talking to the dogs. As
As
I
you approach them in the light, they do look dog-like, but they do not look like dogs. It's like a dog but off. As
Like-
someone who is not a druid, you're not exactly sure how off, but their ears look too wide, and their tails are almost like reed like in terms of stiffness, as opposed to like an actual like fur kind of situation with the tail.
well, I suppose I'd better address the room.
He was proud, Volk.
I address you, guardians of the Temple of Set. We are travelers to this land. Do you have instructions or communications for us?
And the creatures ahead of you all turn towards you, and the one that you have basically been speaking to this entire, or for the majority of your small speech, looks up at you and holds out a paw as if to say stop or wait.
I suppose I will stop and wait. I'll light up a holy cigarette. So I kill time.
Volk, you
Uh,
smoke?
Is it holding out a paw to stop or wait, or is it waiting for a shake because it's a good boy?
You do not have a good history with dogs. All
Volk,
advice
shake
you
that
are
dog's hand.
giving. I'm not shaking the dog. I'm not
Sure,
petting the dog.
Reginald.
I'm not making any mistakes. I'm treating the dog as a respectable member of his church, as you would do well to remember. Even if this is ludicrous. But hey, we're in the Planescape.
We're in hell. Like, what else do you expect?
Church-going dogs, not the strangest things.
Mm-hmm.
Helmut came to church with me once. He seemed to be more interested in the bones that I provided him than any of the sermons. But I'll be honest, I kind of fell asleep through some of the sermons. It was about like Egyptian gods or something. I don't remember.
All right, those of you who are staying behind, you can see actually off in a little bit in the darkness, that there seems to be in the enclosed space of the temple grounds, off to the side of the main stairwell, is what looks like hesitate to say zoo, but obviously a bunch of strange animals accumulated for the sake of just being there.
Mm-hmm.
You see a bunch of they look like a bunch of antelopes with spiraling horns and hippos, and you see some camels, and you also see a pond full of tiny fish.
Can I approach
Is
them?
I was
Oh,
gonna say,
God.
is this over in an area that we were not blocked off from, or
It seems that you are only being blocked off from approaching the interior of this temple.
okay? I'll just wander over to the zoo while Volk waits and just look
Yeah,
at
it
the
does
thing.
I'll
not
go with
seem to
Damien.
be well lit in terms of there is only a few torches here, casting this entire area in dim light.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
In case you're wondering, the fish are weird in the sense that their faces are extended. If you want to know what type of fish they are, let me post a picture of them. Otherwise, they're just little tiny fish.
By the way, I'm looking at the zoo essentially and just I'm in amazement. I'm bewildered. They're so exotic and exotic and novel.
Petra wants to kill them and eat them.
I'm thinking of what dishes I could make them if I have the ability to, take some home with me, if that makes sense. But right now, I'm just marveling at them.
Here,
Such a
there's a
weird
dude
fish.
with a
Got
there's
him.
a dude with an actual sized bigger one.
Holy shit.
Got some long fish.
Yeah.
Although I'm not exactly sure if that's the right species, but I do not care. There is a variety of fishes here, all of which seem to have the snoot.
Weird.
Oh.
Weird looking long fishes. Next, you're gonna tell me you got some long horses.
I was gonna say, Damien is definitely just taking in all of the little details of all these strange animals that he's never seen before.
All right, Volk, you are waiting.
Yeah.
And waiting. Eventually, it is quite clear that they are waiting for something. But it does not look to be something that will happen soon.
Volk, I can talk to them for a second.
I swear to God, if she
Um,
feeds them a bone, I am going to
I'm
be
going-
very disappointed.
No. I'm going to slowly. I'm going to tell the creature I'm going to touch you. I mean no harm. This is just for us to communicate better. And I will slowly reach my hand out to the dog and touch him if
And
I
they
want
will
to.
growl as you approach with your hand. And it is a weird growling, yelping noise. Once again, similar but not quite right for a dog.
I think they're telling you to back up, Petra.
I think they are too. I shall hand them biscuit.
Because of course you will.
All right, as you place the biscuit on the stairs,
I want to hold it out to his hand, and if he
This is
reaches
how-
and
Go
If-
ahead.
if he reaches and grabs it, obviously, we're going to have some sort of contact. At which point, I'm going to cast tongues.
you cast what?
Tongues.
Ah,
Why don't you just cast tongues on yourself?
I believe.
Or no,
'Cause-
here, no. Why don't you cast tongues on me?
The ability to understand any spoken language grants.
I think it.
Oh, I guess
whatever.
I could do that on myself, can't I? But
Any creature that knows can hear you talk. Yeah,
I don't
I guess
know.
I'm
cast it on yourself.
okay. Yeah,
I don't know that it will help.
I'll just do my original
Oh,
plan,
that's
which
true.
is
Do these know a language?
we'll see
I
if he knows
mean-
the language or not.
We are communicating.
So obviously, I show him biscuit, which has the most delightful smell. Will he take it out of my hand, Brian? And I'm going to kind of do some motions to eat it, take it, take it.
it will
Eat
not.
his
It
hand.
will sit there and look at you.
I will. Mm,
Roll me an
Hold
insight
on.
check or handle animal.
animal handling. I'll do the insight check.
All right, these seem to be, at the very least, intelligent and potentially well trained. They don't look like they'll be giving up their post or taking things from strangers without a good cause. Or should I say, like, without being given the ability to do so.
Can I make some sort of check to see if I were to cast tongues on myself? If I'll be able to understand its growling or its, what it
Isn't
says.
it a
If it's
spoken
growling?
language?
I don't know. Yeah, I just want to know if
Spoken
casting
language.
tongues. What was that?
I don't. It says understand any spoken language. I don't think beast speak is a spoken language.
That's why I want to know if it's gonna be worthless to cast or not.
I mean, you only have one spell slot left, so.
I know. I
But
know.
Unfortunately, if you cast it on them, they would not be able to speak back to you. So even if it would give them the ability to understand you, you can still not understand it. if
So
that makes
basically,
sense.
I can't really use the spell at all.
Can I use comprehend languages, Brian?
Unless they have some manner of if they have a language, then you would be able to understand it. But you're not sure. Could you use comprehend languages? It
Yes.
also depends on whether they have a language.
No, as in like I'm gonna use it and figure out if they have a language to see if it's a waste of time for Petra to cast a spell or not.
Okay.
So cast comprehend languages. All right.
Mhm.
Do any of y'all speak? Anyone? Anyone here?
I speak.
Not you, Volk.
Same.
Or
You know
Petra.
what?
Or Texas Red.
Damien, roll me a handle animal.
Oh god.
Going to rip your throat out.
Nat one. Aw.
Damien's not that wise.
I have an 18, thank you very much. I am very wise. I just
Don't
don't
show it.
specialize in handling animals.
Are you a monk?
Didn't you come from the
Yes.
woods? Yeah.
What does that have anything to do with holding animals?
We speak. And
Okay.
to Petra and to Volk, it just sounds like one of them is just making a weird yelping noise.
I'm gonna be like, Damien, keep talking to it, and then I'm going to cast
Hold
tongues
on.
on
It says that it speaks. My friends and I are here to converse with somebody about
comprehend
possibly
language.
making a
Yeah.
deal. Do you know where we can go to talk to somebody about making a deal?
As we tried to tell you, you must wait until the master returns.
Who's... Is there anybody besides the master that we can talk to? 'Cause
Not for a long time.
Um,
There used to be more, but now they're all gone.
Can I do an insight, because these are technically dogs and their sense of time is different?
I was gonna... I'll translate that and I'll just be like, considering how it looks like this entire place was deserted, it's probably been a while. And considering that these are, I assume, magical talking dogs, considering that the last one I touched poofed into nowhere.
Ask who master is.
I think that's probably kind of obvious.
Can you
Just to
ask
make
them
sure.
where we can get an Egyptian god beast belt?
Are you considered god beasts?
We're not god beasts. We're Shah.
Bless you.
Your shot. Do you know if there are any god beasts nearby? Or where the nearest one would be?
God beast.
Yes.
Yes, god beasts.
The beasts of a god. The god's pets.
And yeah.
Or a god that
I
is a
I
beast.
assume that they can understand us, considering that I did comprehend languages, not tongues. So they can understand us.
I'm just assuming they have an IQ of like 4.
You mean animals that belong to the god? Well,
Yes.
there's a lot out there, and then there's us.
You got any extra pelts? That was a joke. I didn't say that out loud.
Volk became a serial killer.
It's a good thing that you said that, clarified that you did not say that out loud, because man, oh man, that response would have been interesting.
Just so you know, I read comprehend languages, and essentially Damien's not allowed to talk to them. But I think with me casting tongues, it'll somehow work out.
No, with comprehend languages, I can understand them.
Yes.
And as long, like, if they can understand us, which I'm assuming they can understand us, they just can't, like, talk to us, like, in our language. Comprehend language just means that they can.
Yes, but you don't know their
So
language.
the difference between comprehend languages and tongues is tongues allows a creature that can't speak that can't understand to understand, and comprehend languages allows you to understand. How do I explain this?
Like, tongues is both ways, comprehend languages is one way. From what I got.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You can only understand
Basically, if you would cast tongues on somebody, they would be able to also understand.
Yes. Tongues
But
is just a
Damien
more
can't be having
powerful
this.
comprehend languages. I can if they already understand us. Just because something understands us doesn't mean that it can, like,
are
speak the
they?
language,
So
basically.
they're understanding us.
Yeah, so they might already understand us, but we can't understand them. Comprehend languages just means that I can understand them.
Gotcha. Okay,
Are
I
they?
get it now.
Is there
Basically, if you had cast tongues on them, it would have done nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there a large? Are they protecting a large door behind them?
There is a door behind them. Yes,
Is it closed?
it is closed.
Damien, ask them when their master returns, automatically open.
Well, I mean, you can ask them. I'll just
Oh.
listen to their response.
Excuse me, guardians of the temple. When your master returns, will the door automatically open?
It's a door. Not without magic.
He says
Well,
it's a
but
door, not
if the
without
door
magic.
opened on its own, would that be a sign of your master returning? Or perhaps some sign of his power? I assume this is a great temple dedicated to
I mean, I guess
his
it could
divinity.
if it came through the door.
Okay. I had a plan, but I feel like
I could technically open the door right now if I wanted to.
Yes, but I'm like, I could open the door, but what would that solve?
Exactly.
Nothing. We still need a freaking willing creature.
Oh, sorry, Matt. I just reread it. They would also be able to speak the language, or that you'd be able to understand. So no, if you had cast it on them, you would be able to understand them.
Okay, so
I
basically
apologize.
it's doing the same thing. If I were to cast tongues, we'd be doing the same exact conversations.
It's just
Basically,
comprehend languages does the bare minimum required to actually understand this situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I did realize, Damien, that you could also touch the hieroglyphs 2 to read them and understand them. So if we ever need that in the future.
Mm-hmm. How?
Noted. Okay. What are we going to do here? We need.
Die.
I mean, do we just ask them?
Ask what happened here first. How long they've been here.
All right. Temple Guardians, how long has your watch been? How many years have you spent here?
I've spent my whole life here.
How old are you?
Many.
Yep, they're dogs.
There's also no sun here, so it's a bit hard to tell.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know where your master went?
Off to protect the sun.
Protect the sun. Okay. And where did all of the people who visited the temple? Where did they go?
Well, they went in, and then they never came out.
They went inside the temple?
Yep.
That is highly irregular. Did they follow your god? So
Well, they were told
perhaps
to come in, and then
by
they did.
who?
By the master.
Your god told all of the people his devoted in the city to join him in the temple.
Well,
I-
not all at once.
No? Then what happened?
Well, they kind of come in like small numbers, and then they didn't come out.
But they didn't come out.
Nope.
Guys, should we pray to this set guy and see if
No,
we can get
no.
an
Nope.
audience?
No. Seems like a bad idea. I've seen his work so far, not too fond of it. But perhaps they'll let us into the big doors behind them to make sure that everybody's okay. It's been a while, you know. Well, if you want to float that by your new friends.
Well, you
Must
can
I?
talk to them too.
I know, but Volk just, he's the diplomat of us.
Well, to be honest, Guardians of the Temple, we did come here, perhaps unwillingly, to seek a request of your god. Inside the temple, is there any way we could perhaps send a message to him or pray to him?
You'll have to wait until the master comes back.
How do I feel about my deception?
How do I feel about my deception, Volk?
What do you have?
Don't you have like plus 11 or something?
I'm not a great person, but I'm not that.
Let me
I
see
have
my
6.
perception, because I'm pretty
Deception.
Okay.
Oh,
Can we talk about things by the zoo for a little while?
yeah. Dude,
All
there are
right.
some weird fish over there, man. Like, crazy.
Like god beast fish?
I don't know. I
Can
would
any of them
consider
speak?
I'm going to
Let's
ask
find
the
out.
jackal.
Comprehend languages last for an hour, and I can do it 4 times.
I'm going to ask the jackal if I can capture those fish in the distance, or if that's a no-no.
Don't touch the fish.
Anything else I can't touch?
All of it.
There's a lot of stuff you shouldn't touch. Fire's a bad thing to touch.
Is there anything we can touch other than the ground?
That's where you found your people.
Is there any of these?
There's also a lot
animals
of things you can touch. Yeah.
May I capture the fish?
Don't touch the fish.
Any of these animals I can capture?
Don't touch the animals. They're the masters.
Uh,
How long has your master been gone? I'm pretty sure we went over
Yeah,
this.
they just said a
Yeah.
long, long time.
Or many.
You did not actually ask that question. You've asked how long they've been here.
Oh,
And their answer was, we've been here a long time.
how long has your master been gone?
Well, our master's been gone for a little bit, like uh, not a full day.
How do you know how long a day is?
We haven't gone to sleep yet.
When is the last time you went to sleep?
I don't know.
Have you ever gone to sleep?
Yes, many times.
Shall we call it here?
I was gonna say, I think we should all just like go over to the zoo and just like start planning what we really need to do, and then we can
All right.
kind of call it there.
So yeah, you can either call it here or you can call it after you do a planning session.
All right, my simple planning is we have the chime of opening. We claim we're aspirants seeking the will of Set.
We have that
And-
shark tooth. Could be helpful in proving how great we are.
I think with
We
him
hit
being
the-
only gone one day, I think we should wait it out.
We don't know if it's one day,
Yeah,
though.
we don't know how long. Like, these could be like magic beasts that have been awake for like hundreds of years. Because if
But these
every-
guys aren't magic beasts. They told us that.
Yes,
I
they
mean,
are.
I don't think they know what they are.
Okay, they said that they're Shah for one, and then when I grabbed one and just like hugged it, it puffed out into a puff of smoke. I would consider that pretty magical.
What, dogs don't do that where you're from?
Not typically.
Don't have any blink dogs?
No. At least none that I've seen.
But yeah, basically I wanted to perform as like an aspirant of Set, and one of you guys would, after I make my big speech, you would hit the chime, open the door, and I
I
would
can just
go, and then we could go in.
I could cast Mage Hand too if I need to.
I assume these are large temple doors.
I don't think Mage Hand is going to have enough strength to open a door.
I think it even mentions Mage Hand can be used to open doors.
Yeah,
Yeah, but-
regular doors. Not
I-
huge fucking temple doors to God's realms.
Yeah, we're not saying you can't open doors. We're saying this door.
exactly what you're saying. No, but okay. Yeah.
I mean, if we have a chime of opening, it seems like easier than mage hands.
We still have how many uses left
Yeah.
of it? 7. So
So
We got
yeah,
some-
you're pretty sure the
Ooh.
door will weigh more than 10 pounds. You can absolutely use the chime of opening to open the doors.
I mean,
You will
it's
also
like,
know though that it makes a loud noise.
which is why I want, people to be. I mean, we can hopefully play it off as, the chime of Set. But who knows? It's dumb, but like, I don't really have anything else. We could
If it's
just
stupid
wander
and
the
it works,
desert.
then it's not stupid. How about that?
It's, yeah. I don't know. That's what I have. We can do blips now.